Have you ever wondered why, despite all your achievements, gadgets, and busy schedules, you still feel empty or bored? You're not alone. Most people are chasing happiness in all the wrong places, relying on external objects that never deliver lasting joy. Here's the twist. The secret to real happiness isn't a new job, relationship, or even a fancy vacation. It's hidden in the way your mind focuses. And the surprising part, most people are doing it completely backward, letting lingering thoughts and constant distractions steal their peace of mind. Stick around, because I'm about to reveal a simple, scientifically backed approach that can transform boredom into one pointed focus, giving you real, lasting happiness. Happiness is a tricky thing, isn't it? Most people wander around thinking it's some magical state they'll stumble upon once they hit the perfect life. A new car, a promotion, or that Instagram-worthy relationship. But here's the kicker. True happiness doesn't work that way. Chasing external objects might give a quick thrill like sugar rushing through your brain, but it fades fast. Imagine thinking a fancy gadget will make your day only to feel empty 5 minutes later. It's a classic trap that leaves the mind restless and hungry for the next fix. Many spend their lives believing that accumulating achievements equals joy. Yet science and observation show otherwise. Happiness is not something you collect like stamps or coins. It's cultivated internally. When people rely on circumstances or external validation, they're essentially building castles on sand, fragile and fleeting. Even small setbacks like a friend's success or a sudden inconvenience can completely wreck their mood. That's why understanding what happiness truly is becomes the first step toward living a life that actually feels satisfying, steering us toward recognizing boredom as a key signal. So many folks believe that happiness comes from getting something, whether it's a relationship, a promotion, or the latest tech gadget. But here's the truth. Few realize external objects are like sugar for the brain. Sweet for a moment, then gone. You might get that dream phone, but a week later, it's just another piece of plastic sitting on your desk. Relying on external objects for happiness is a fast track to disappointment and constant craving. The mind learns to depend on these quick hits, weakening its ability to generate contentment on its own. Think about it. You've probably felt excited to buy a new game or go on a date, only to realize the joy fizzled faster than you expected. Science even hints that our brains are wired to adapt quickly to new stimuli, which is why these objects never satisfy long term. The key is noticing that your happiness isn't in that external object. It's in how your mind engages with the world. Once that click happens, you start seeing boredom as a symptom rather than a failure, and the path toward cultivating a one-pointed mind becomes much clearer. Boredom isn't just an annoying feeling, it's a signal. When the mind is scattered, juggling too many thoughts at once, boredom shows up like an alarm bell, whispering that something's off. People often try to escape it with scrolling social media, binge-watching shows, or snacking endlessly. But here's the secret. Boredom is actually a guide. It points straight to the cracks in our focus, hinting at where a one-pointed mind is missing. Once we understand that, boredom stops being a nuisance and becomes a doorway to deeper happiness. Imagine sitting in a quiet room, restless at first, feeling that twinge of boredom. Instead of reaching for your phone, you allow yourself to notice it. That moment is powerful. Scientific studies suggest that tolerating boredom can train your mind to handle distractions and develop true contentment. Over time, you'll see that boredom isn't the enemy. It's an indicator that your happiness depends more on your mental focus than on fleeting external objects. And once you get this, the path to a one-pointed mind starts to open naturally. True happiness starts when the mind locks in on a single point, fully absorbed without drifting. This one-pointed mind is like a magnifying glass focusing sunlight. It amplifies whatever it touches. When people experience this state, even mundane tasks become satisfying because the mind isn't scattered over worries, comparisons, or lingering thoughts. Whether it's painting, reading, or simply savoring a cup of coffee, the depth of focus transforms the experience into genuine joy. Developing a one-pointed mind isn't magic, it's a skill. You can start small, like spending 10 minutes completely immersed in washing the dishes or walking without distractions. Even everyday actions become exercises in mindfulness, helping your brain strengthen this mental muscle. Science and new methods show that repeated practice of focused attention rewires neural pathways. gradually allowing you to experience flow states more often. And as this mental clarity grows, external objects lose their misleading pull, guiding naturally into understanding why people rely on external objects for temporary happiness. Many people unknowingly lean on external objects to keep their minds busy and focused. Video games, TV shows, social media, or even relationships. At first, these things feel like happiness, giving quick hits of excitement or distraction. But here's the catch: relying on external objects weakens your one-pointed mind. Once the stimulus is gone, your focus crumbles, and the mind starts wandering, leading to boredom, restlessness, and that familiar sense of emptiness. It's like training a muscle incorrectly. If you only lift someone else's weights, your own strength doesn't grow. Instead, practicing focus without crutches builds resilience. Try engaging in activities with minimal external input: a short walk, journaling, or cooking without your phone. Over time, the mind learns to sustain focus internally, creating happiness that isn't dependent on fleeting objects. And as this realization sets in, it becomes easier to see why comparison can quietly sneak in and steal joy from even the most satisfying experiences. Comparison is sneaky. It creeps in when you least expect it. Watching a friend post about their promotion or vacation might seem harmless, but suddenly your happiness takes a hit. The mind shifts from gratitude to envy, and that one-pointed focus you were cultivating evaporates. Studies even show that constant comparison triggers the same neural pathways as pain, proving just how damaging it can be. Recognizing this pattern is the first step to reclaiming your peace of mind. Instead of measuring your life against others, try focusing on your own growth and small wins. Celebrate finishing a project, sticking to a habit, or even enjoying a quiet moment alone. This doesn't mean ignoring others. It's about choosing where to put your mental energy. The more you detach from comparison, the more your one-pointed mind strengthens, allowing mindfulness and even mindlessness exercises to become more effective. And speaking of mind exercises, this naturally leads us to the next step: true meditation practice. Meditation isn't about filling your mind with thoughts or chasing enlightenment. It's about learning to let go. True mindlessness trains the brain to become one-pointed, allowing happiness to arise from focus rather than external objects. Even a few minutes a day of observing your breath, noticing wandering thoughts, and gently returning attention can strengthen your mental muscles. It's like a workout for the mind, building resilience against boredom, lingering thoughts, and constant comparison. Many dismiss meditation because it feels boring at first, but that's the point. Tolerating boredom is part of the practice. Over time, you'll notice a shift. Tasks that once felt tedious now hold your full attention, and simple moments bring contentment. This internal focus is the ingredient for peace of mind, allowing the brain to experience flow states more often. And once you can sit with boredom without relying on external objects for stimulation, the next step, actively tolerating boredom in daily life, becomes much more approachable. Tolerating boredom is more than just sitting still. It's a superpower for building a one-pointed mind. When people lean on distractions every time their brain whispers "I'm bored," they miss the chance to strengthen focus. Practicing tolerance means allowing your mind to sit quietly, noticing thoughts without acting on them, and gradually reducing dependency on external objects. Even small steps like waiting in line without scrolling your phone can train your brain to endure restlessness. Think of it as mental weightlifting. The more you allow yourself to feel boredom without running away, the more control you gain over your attention. Simple exercises, like a short grounding practice outside, feeling your feet on the grass, or observing your breath while doing nothing else, teach patience and mental stability. Over time, these moments of tolerating boredom become the building blocks for peace of mind, setting the stage for addressing lingering thoughts that disrupt your happiness. Lingering thoughts are the uninvited guests that keep crashing your mental party. They creep in with reminders of unfinished tasks, unfulfilled desires, or worries about the future, pulling your attention in 100 directions at once. Even with a one-pointed mind or during moments of mindfulness, these persistent thoughts can shatter your focus and rob you of happiness. The key is noticing them without judgment, understanding that their power comes from your reaction, not from the thoughts themselves. For example, you might sit down to enjoy a quiet cup of coffee, and suddenly your mind floods with, "I should be working on that project," or "Did I handle that conversation correctly?" This is where procrastination sneaks in, feeding more stress by learning to face these lingering thoughts, writing them down, scheduling time to act on them, or simply acknowledging their presence. You start to regain control. Each small action chips away at their influence, gradually clearing space for a one-pointed mind and the peace of mind that comes with it. To truly experience peace of mind, you need to actively address lingering thoughts instead of letting them linger endlessly. These persistent mental notes, unfinished tasks, unresolved emotions, or pending decisions. Keep the mind scattered and prevent one-pointed focus. The simplest approach is to do the thing, tackle small actions that remove mental clutter, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Each completed action diminishes the weight of lingering thoughts, allowing happiness to emerge naturally. Think about it practically. That unfinished email, that conversation you've been avoiding, or that goal you've postponed for months. Taking decisive action doesn't just solve the task, it quiets your mind. Science shows that resolving small stressors reduces cognitive load and anxiety, reinforcing focus and tolerance for boredom. As the mind clears, one-pointedness becomes easier to achieve, opening doors to flow states, deep engagement, and authentic happiness, making external objects far less necessary for joy. Achieving a goal doesn't automatically bring lasting happiness, no matter how big or impressive it seems. Finishing a project, landing a promotion, or ticking off a bucket list item might feel exciting for a moment, but that thrill fades quickly. True happiness comes from the ability to focus the mind, manage lingering thoughts, and enjoy the present, rather than from external accomplishments. The difference is subtle but powerful. Goals can clear mental clutter, but they aren't the source of contentment. For example, you might finally buy that dream car or close that business deal, only to realize your mind is already searching for the next milestone. Happiness isn't found in the object or achievement. It's found in the mental clarity and peace that allow you to experience each moment fully. Once you grasp this, flow states become easier to reach, and the mind's dependence on external objects diminishes, naturally guiding you toward deeper engagement in work and play. There's a big difference between grinding through boring work and entering a flow state. When your mind is scattered, tasks feel tedious, hours drag, and happiness seems unreachable. But in a flow state, you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. Time fades, focus sharpens, and even challenging tasks feel rewarding. This one-pointed mind is the secret ingredient that turns ordinary work into a source of satisfaction, independent of external objects or validation. Think about a time you were so engaged in a project or hobby that everything else disappeared. That's flow at work, and it's accessible in daily life if you train your mind to focus. Using mindfulness, tolerating boredom, and tackling lingering thoughts all build the foundation for this mental state. Once you experience it consistently, you'll realize that happiness doesn't depend on the task itself. It depends on the clarity and engagement of your mind, which naturally leads into the next topic, the impact on mental health. A scattered mind, constantly juggling thoughts, is at the root of many mental illnesses. Anxiety, depression, and even obsessive-compulsive tendencies thrive when the brain is flooded with too many simultaneous thoughts. By training the mind through meditation, tolerating boredom, and resolving lingering thoughts, you strengthen your one-pointed mind, creating a buffer against mental chaos. This isn't just theory. Studies show that focused attention exercises improve emotional regulation and overall mental resilience. Consider how anxiety spirals. A single worry multiplies into dozens, leaving you restless and mentally exhausted. Similarly, depression often stems from repetitive negative thinking, eroding peace of mind. Strengthening one-pointedness and practicing mindlessness provides a practical method to calm these mental storms. The mind learns to sustain focus, tolerate boredom, and engage fully with life, which naturally leads to authentic happiness, leaving you ready to experience the true secret of happiness without relying on external objects. So, now that you understand the secret behind true happiness, it's time to put it into action. Are you going to let lingering thoughts and endless distractions control your mind? Or will you start training your one-pointed focus today? Think about it. How much of your life could feel genuinely fulfilling if boredom didn't scare you? Comparison didn't haunt you, and your mind stayed steady. Start small, tackle one lingering thought, practice tolerating a few minutes of boredom, or simply focus deeply on one task. Your peace of mind and authentic happiness are waiting. If you found this insight valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to strengthen your mind and reclaim your happiness. What's one small step you can take today to train your focus and silence those lingering thoughts? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear how you're taking control of your happiness journey.